God is saying, it's not by might. It's not by power. It's not the connections you have. It is not by power, your human performance, your human smarts. It's not by all this. It's by my Spirit. When I pray for you, the unmerited favor, things fall into place. So you know what, Zerubbabel, God is saying, you are discouraged. You think that I don't have the financial might. This remnant, they are poor people that return from captivity. They don't even have time to build their wealth. You know, I have nothing, no resources to work with. And God is saying, Zerubbabel, is not by might. Who are you? Say this, Zerubbabel. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel, you shall become a plain. And how will this happen? And he shall bring forth the capstone. You know what's a capstone? It's the final piece of the building, which means the building is finished. You will finish the work with shouts of... Oh, come on. Shouts of... Shouts of... You know how my Spirit works? Grace. When you shout to your mountain, grace, before you, it will become a plain. So supposing your name is Lim Peng San, you will say, who are you, O great mountain? Before Lim Peng San, you shall become a plain. And how does it happen? You shout to your problem. You shout, grace, grace. Shout to that sickness, grace, grace. Amen. I'm not expecting to be healed because I do this, I do that, I do this. I'm expecting to be healed because Jesus took this disease for me. Amen. Grace, grace to the sickness. Grace, grace to the financial lack. Sometimes you don't have time to pray. Only time to shout, Jesus or grace. You don't have time to say, oh, Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I'm about to face an accident here, Lord. I remember just a few weeks ago, we left the youth camp, and I was with Pastor Joe, and some of the pastors stayed back with our families to eat in KL, and to eat, and to eat. That's what the guys did. The ladies just shop and shop and shop, okay? The children just played and played. So we had a good time, and we were all tired. We thought of sleeping in, so I told Joe, let's go ask for a late checkout, okay? So we went to the counter quite late at night, and the lady over the counter, she was looking at us, and she says, you want a late checkout? I said, what time? I said, 4 o'clock. You know, and she was looking at us and said, well, I do not know, you know what they do. They go through the motion and said, let me ask my manager. So Joe was near me and I did this. Lord, grace, grace. That's the only prayer I can pray at that time because she was about to ask a manager. You cannot say, oh, Father, you know, by the time the manager finished with it. So I said, grace, grace. I'm under your grace, Lord. And she came out. You know what? Gave us more than the normal time, 2 o'clock. We got to go out late. All right? Simple thing, Pastor Prince. It's so simple. I also get it. But you know, many a times we just shout grace, grace. We get upgraded. We shout grace, grace. And the problem is no more there. All the grace, the wisdom to handle the problem comes. I'm telling you, church, when you say grace, your eyes is on God's unmerited, undeserved favor. The mountain that is so big will become a plain. Amen? So God restored both Zerubbabel and God restored Joshua. And they rose up. Do you know when the building was completed? The same year, Zechariah prophesied to both the leaders. It was done so quick because the king at that time, all of a sudden they had favor with the king. Remember this? They are back now in righteousness, consciousness. They are back to the fact that Christ is their righteousness. Guess what happened? Amen. Joshua is now conscious of the rich robes of righteousness he's wearing. That is not of his own making, but of God's providing. The moment he's conscious of that, they had favor with the king. And the king commanded that all the resources, at this time it was Artaxerxes and Darius, and all the resources will be provided for the building of the temple. And this is a command from the king. Let it be done speedily. The moment they got their hearts right, all right, to be established in what Christ has done, not what they have done, favor flowed. Influence flowed. Grace flowed. And they finished the entire building in the same year.